Hey, good morning to everybody. Thanks for joining us again today. We are on the third day, and we're so happy that all of you are coming back again for this sessions on customer analytics and also omni-channel marketing and content marketing. So today we are very happy to have Hardian from the Merkle group itself. As the analytics manager at Merkle in Indonesia, Hardin is passionate individual who pursue effective and efficient deliveries in data and analytics. So he's an expert. So if you have any questions for him at the end of the session, please feel free to ask him. And with more than 5 years of experience, he's a seasoned to both clients, consultations, and in-depth of customer data analytics to clients across industries, across the sectors that including the publisher, telco, retail, educations, insurance, banking, and e-commerce. Now, before that, let me get to Hardin. Hardin, hello, good morning to you.
Hello, Janice. Good morning to you, and
Good
good morning to everybody
morning.
also.
Yes, what's this topic this morning? I'm just wondering because I have to refer. So maybe you can let us know what is this topic about. And I'm going to pass the whole mic to you, and you can run through with everyone. All right, everything
Yeah,
goes to you. Thanks.
sure. Yeah. So, good morning, everybody. Hope you are doing well. Yeah. Hope you already have your breakfast. You already have your morning coffee. And yeah, I mean, especially for me, I'm not the type to do a morning coffee or maybe I eat breakfast. So I'll just eat everything at brunch. So hopefully you have done your part and also do my part. And yeah, nice to meet everybody in here. So now it's the new normal, yeah. We often meet offline previously, and now we have to adjust to a new custom where we can meet whether offline or maybe if we cannot do that, we can always do it online. So hopefully, what I'm going to share to you today can bring some new ideas to you, can bring new perspective to what you have already known, you have already expert. So yeah, let's just start. So I'm just going to share my screen if that's okay. Yep. Yeah. Okay. I'm waiting for the screen to show up from my end. So disconnected at 96%. Okay. Yep. So here, what are we going to talk about today for the next 30 minutes or so? We are going to talk about how to unlock your customer data with analytics. Yep. So what do I mean by that? Is basically the main words are delivering meaningful connections. So what I mean by this is just that. So have you guys have experience, or maybe your friends or your family have experience where you get some ads, but it's not really relevant to you? So let's say, for example, you were given a promo of gado-gado food, the food with lots of vegetables and lots of peanut butter sauce. But the fact is, you are allergic to peanuts. And then maybe from another brand, you get an ad filled with a fresh meat discount, right? The dairy meat discounts. But the fact is, you're not really the type of eating a dairy meat. You are more the type of eating fish, or maybe you're a vegetarian. So that's not really accurate, right? And then maybe the last one, for example, yeah, the most basic stuff that we often meet on our daily basis is just that you get a promotion for a subscription, maybe from an OTA or maybe from streaming platform services. But the fact that you are already subscribed means it's not really being an accurate marketing efforts. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. It's just that how can we make sure that brands can offer more accurate engagement to their customers moving forward. And for some people, maybe this inaccurate experience, these miscommunications between brands and its users doesn't mean anything. So it's just mean a little bit of annoyance. I will continue my day doing my activities and such. But the fact that there are some other people also, the potential customers or maybe our existing customers, that if they experience this type of promotion or maybe ads, it could mean a bad experience for them. So yeah, in the worst case scenario, you can say bye bye to your customers. So I think that's the worst part of delivering the wrong message, yeah, should I say, or maybe a bad communication to our customers. So yeah, uh, how can we avoid that? So that's the question, because it's not really the result of lazy targeting or maybe misfiring campaigns or whatsoever, but it's just that they might not have enough information about you at all. So let's say, for example, yes, I'm visiting the peanut butter section on e-commerce, but that doesn't mean that I like peanut butter, right? And then if I try to see some discounts on meat or maybe some vegetable, that does not mean that I will buy this every day, right? So these type of questions that marketers should answer each day, day by day, to understand what our users are really want, what the users are really interested in, and how to achieve that. So let me try to share my thoughts from this presentation. So yeah, basically, we as a Merkle, right, in Indonesia, we have beliefs that there are three pillars to reach the customer analytics success. So the first one is integrated data, where we collect a holistic data across platforms, not only from your offline platforms, not only from your online platforms, but all of the data that you have that belonging to the users. We should be able to combine it into one and try to stitch the data to make an integrated approach to our users. And what it means by that is numbers two, which is the connected insights, where after we get all of the information of our users, then we can easily say that maybe, oh, Hardian is a person who don't like peanut butter and who only eat fish, and does in fact already subscribe to our service. So after we can define the user in segmentation like Hardian, how Hardian behave in a website or maybe apps or maybe offline events, and then we can reach out to the final tier of these pillars, which is the multi-moment activations. So the question over here in multi-moment activation is, where should I reach Hardian? So should I reach Hardian through promotion, or should I reach Hardian through loyalty program, or maybe even should I reach Hardian not via online touchpoints, but from a telemarketing perspective? So that kind of information we should be able to gather about our customers to make sure that when we eventually reach them through any channels that we have, we can make sure that our engagement is a proper engagement, the right engagement, and the better timing engagement that we plan. So yeah, I think we can continue to the customer analytics part and what customer analytics platform offers. So based on our perspective, the customer analytics platform offers four of these key pointers. So the first one being an analytics part, where we can see the measurement of our users. So how many pages do they see? How many screens do they access? So what kind of activity do they do in our environment, such as maybe they fill in a form, or maybe they buy something, or maybe they read an article but not really trying to engage. Like, for example, they don't really like the article, They don't really share the article, for example. So we have to be able to understand how the users behave in our environment. And then what customer analytics do, a second one is on the product side. So when we talk about the product side, I'm sure that many verticals in here, industry verticals especially, there will be e-commerce, let's say for example, and then there will be publishers, there will be banking, there will be insurance, there will be education, perhaps. But they will all have different types of products, right? So let's say for e-commerce, they have items to sell, and the conversion is purchase, let's say for example. And then we have publishers. Publishers have articles as their products, and the way that they did their conversion may be different from e-commerce side. So maybe from the publisher side, the conversion will be sharing their articles, or maybe even the conversion maybe clicking on an ad on an article. So each of the industry vertical might have a different opinion on the conversion, what the best conversion should be, and how to reach them. So we should be able to know that in a customer analytics platform. And then when we talk about customer analytics, right, we also talk about their demographics. So when we try to see our customer analytics data, we should be able to tell that, let's say, for example, users like Hardian is belonging to age group of 18 and 24. And within the age group of 18 and 24, people like Hardian usually stayed in Jakarta, and also people like Hardian usually interested in uh, not in food, but more towards the automotive industry. So this kind of information we should be able to know also in the customer analytics platform. That way we can understand better what are our users actually. So what are the markets? Because we can say that the markets for 18 and 24 age group is different from the market for, let's say, for example, 45 to 55 age group. So yeah, and the last one is technology. So in technology, right, we are talking about the digital presence of our users. So when we talk about offline, right, so let's say, for example, Hardian, you meet them offline. So you know that Hardian brings his bike to the office, and Hardian always bought coffee in Starbucks. And then Hardian always enjoy 5 to 10 minutes of vaping before going to the office. So you can see that when you meet Hardian offline, right? But the question is, what can we see when Hardian is located online? So here goes the technology part. So the technology part, we can know that, Hardian is visiting our website through Chrome browser, or maybe Microsoft Edge, or maybe even Mozilla Firefox. And then we can also understand that, Hardian comes to the website or our apps through not through a laptop, but through his smartphone. And then if Hardian is using smartphone, what kind of smartphone do Hardian use? Is it an Apple one? Is it an Android one? Is it a flagship one? Or is it a middle tier one? So this kind of information will help us a lot in terms of breaking down our users, in terms of making sure that we are targeting the right users moving forward. Okay. So I'm going to talk about the integrated data, because in three pillars, right, if you guys remember, we have integrated data, connected insights, and also multi-moment activation. So let me try to talk about the integrated data over here. So what I mean by integrated data is the data is not only coming from the online perspective, not only from the online touch points, but it can be from everywhere. So let's say, for example, we have an analytics which already covers the website tracking and also app tracking. But that doesn't mean the data is already complete, right? We have our users data basically everywhere. We already use CRM tools, and then we already use social listening tools. We have already used email marketing perhaps to our current sets of users. It's not only limited to this, but it can also be various of things. Let's say, for example, you have done your SMS marketing, you have done your WhatsApp marketing. So you have done, let's say, for example, Facebook and also Google marketing efforts. And the question is how to integrate all of the data into one place to produce a combined insights for your users. So that's basically what we do here in Merkle, Indonesia, where we try to convince yeah, convince our client to start combining their data because the benefits is very huge, right? When we understand about our users, what we understand who they really are, and what kind of activity do they do in our environment, then we can easily say that to reach Hardian, you just need to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So that's what I mean by integrated data. After we get the integrated data, right? So there will be benefits, like I said. One of the benefits are the actionable insights that connects and enriches data. So these actionable insights, let's say for example, when you have all of the informations about your users, then you should be able to know that okay, Hardian is visiting our website through his smartphone, and his smartphone turns out to be Apple, but the Apple device is not belongs to the flagship level. It belongs to the mid-tier level. Does that mean that we can upsell Hardian to the newer version of Apple products? Let's say, for example, or maybe let's try to do it in a different manner. So we have talked about technology, right? And then we talk about the audience. So let's say Hardian visits an e-commerce website, and then Hardian tries to see a peanut butter sauce. Hardian tries to see a tomato sauce, and Hardian tries to see a smartphone. So does this really mean that Hardian is looking for a smartphone and also peanut butter sauce? Not really. But at least now we know that there's some intention over there. The intention that Hardian might buy this product. So what can we do to make sure that Hardian really interested in peanut butter and smartphone? We collect all of the additional data that Hardian has. So let's say, for example, we have a data in our CRM system which says that Hardian never really buys a peanut butter sauce. So does that mean that Hardian only interested in browsing the peanut butter sauce? That could mean too. And then when we try to see the CRM data, right? So Hardian is actually attending an online event with his family. Their family all are using the Apple devices, and then one of the person in Hardian's family owns an Android. So that kind of data will be collected in CRM, right? So and then with that kind of data, what we can do is we can try to assume that when Hardian try to look at the Apple smartphone, it can only be two things: whether Hardian wants to upgrade their phone to newer ones, or maybe even Hardian might try to buy an Apple smartphone for his family. So that kind of perspective really helps us marketers to achieve forward, to engage customer in the right way, in a proper way, and a better timing. So hopefully you get the ideas over here. And also when we talk about the conversion side, we talk about Hardian buying smartphone, you would want to know where Hardian get the information, where Hardian coming from. That belongs to the attribution part. So let's say, for example, Hardian enters your e-commerce website, and then Hardian search for a smartphone. Where did Hardian coming from? Did Hardian come directly by entering our website name, www.example.com? Or maybe Hardian comes from a campaign perspective. So if we're talking about campaigns, what kind of campaigns did Hardian coming in? Is it from offline campaigns? Is it from online campaigns? What WhatsApp marketing or maybe email marketing? So there's many ways to explore how Hardian perform in this type of environment, especially digital touchpoints. We also measure the behavior, not only from mid or lower funnel part, but we want to make sure that we measure everything about our users. So starting when they enter the website or apps, right? How do they enter, from which campaigns, and all other such. And then we try to see up to the middle funnel. What do they see? What do they intend to do? What are they interested in? Is it a smartphone? Is it peanut butter sauce? Maybe for publisher, is it an entertainment articles, or maybe even a sport one? So we can know about that in customer analytics. And the last part is we should be able to know how our assets perform. So if we're talking about education, right? How many registration forms do the users fill? How many page views? How many visits do we have in, let's say, for example, an accounting program in a campus, right? So that way we can understand the interest that our users have towards our program in education. Or maybe if we're talking about banking, right? So in banking, we usually have a credit card program. So how many people does register this credit card program? And how many people actually think about submitting to this program? Because we as a user, we did not do everything directly, right? So when we think that, I'm interested in applying for credit card, that does not mean when we enter the website we will submit a form, right? uh, and that way we can know in customer analytics the behavior of our users. What page do they see? What are their intentions? Are they seeing any credit card promotion, or maybe even they enter the form pages but did not really submit the form? We can understand that and transport that, or maybe convert that into funnel. And this journey funnel will explain us even better of how the users do in our website and apps. And the point here is just that we want to break down the silos over here. So users might have online activities, offline activities such as CRM engagement, or maybe offline store visits. They also open the app, and also maybe they use another platform of data integration, such as maybe AdFlyer or maybe Insider, if you guys familiar with this. So the key point over here is to combine all of the data sets over here into one single options, which is the customer analytics what we have. And then from the customer analytics itself, we are going to process it even further in a data processing platform such as BigQuery, or maybe your data warehouse, to make sure that we can understand how the user performs in each of our assets and combine them into something that's more meaningful. So here is what we can achieve when we are able to collect all of the informations that our users have. So let's say, for example, you already have information about your users through your CRM, right? You have their phone number, their offline visits, maybe their address location, their loyalty program, or maybe offline conversions. And you combine it to first party data from something or some platform such as Google Analytics, let's say, for example, yeah. And then you can know their digital touch points. What do they do digitally? So let's say, for example, you know their campaigns, you know their where the journey drop off, whether they buy some items, whether they read some articles. You can know all of that in a platform of analytics. So the difference between those two is just that one is collecting the existing customers and one is collecting anonymous users, right? And can you imagine if we can combine those two, if we can combine between platforms, the data, the user data, we stitch it into one. And what happens is, as you see on the right side, we found Renga. So Renga is a 30 years old who lives in Jakarta, works at Performance League, an advertising agency, and likes to mingle with his friends. And what we understand from Renga is we can understand how Renga performs towards each of our campaigns, how we can also predict what will Renga behave if we put him under certain kind of promotions. And even if Renga is a high propensity users, then we can absolutely try to make a lookalike audience for Renga. And basically, the idea is just to create so many accurate customer segmentations from the user type, visit frequency, buying behaviors, and also advanced classification. So the very idea is to create these sets of audience for you, the brands, to move forward with your engagement towards your customers. And the last but not least part that I would like to share is about the data maturity roadmap that I should say this to you because we have very limited time over here. Yeah, most of our customers, most of our clients, is just at the starting point. So what I mean by starting point is they do this all manually. So we can see here is in the nascent category that they already have their analytics platform, they already have their ads platform, but they don't really connect it to one another. So the data becomes siloed. You have your campaign data, you have your user data, but you cannot really combine it. And that's what we are here for in Merkle Indonesia. Our aim is to keep pushing forward, keep pushing our customers to go to the next level from nascent to emerging, where the analytics connect to the ads platform and also the personalization platform, right? The integrated data. And then the next one is being connected. So what being connected means is just that when you already integrate your data should be able to speak with one another. So you should be able to understand your users from every kind of perspective. And the last part is the multi-moment part, where if you understand your users correctly, then you can always create a new users with the same behavior, with the same sets of activities that your existing users have to make sure that your conversion rate is going higher and higher every day. So hopefully you get the ideas of what I'm trying to say over here, that the most important part of doing an accurate measurement, doing an accurate engagement to our users is basically, first of all, is to collect their data, right? It's not only collect the data to CRM, it's not only collect their data to the analytics, but all of the touch points that we have, even if it's offline or online or everything. The most important thing is to collect their data first and to make sure that the data is properly integrated, properly tracked, and then the rest is history. Because I'm sure great minds like all of us over here already have big plans for their companies, right? Already have the big marketing plans, the big engagement plans towards the customers. And what better way to start than have your tracking analytics ready? So I think that's 10:45 now, right? So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say over here with a very limited of time. I can always take some questions through chat. You can reach me through this event also. I will be hanging around for an hour or so maybe. So you can try to reach me, ask me anything, and I will try to explain you as best as I could. I'm Hardian from Merkle, Indonesia. I hope I'm able to explain you a little bit better after this. So see you again in the next time, maybe offline or maybe online too. Yeah.
Thank you, Hardin. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much for this interesting, the topics with the customer analytics. Yeah. Okay. We will be ending this session soon, and then join us for the another session for the panel discussions. In the sessions at the 11:15 a.m. See you, everyone.
See you guys. Thank you.